Listen to the lecture about John Steinbeck. The bar to the right of the screen shows how much time is left in the lecture. After the lecture is finished, you will see the questions.
You are going to listen to an author biography of John Steinbeck, who's an American writer. John Steinbeck, born in 1902 in Salinas, California, is considered one of the greatest American authors, famous for such works as Tortilla Flat, The Grapes of Wrath, East of Eden, and Of Mice and Men. Steinbeck artfully created believable characters living real life and in doing so brilliantly captured the strength and determination of the human spirit. John was born February 27, 1902, the only son of John Ernst and Olive Hamilton Steinbeck. His father was the treasurer of Monterey County and his mother was a public school teacher. He grew up in the vast agricultural heart of the Salinas Valley, about 25 miles off the Pacific coast, which later became the setting for many of his novels. Growing up an avid reader, Steinbeck was captivated by adventure stories such as Sir Thomas Malory's Le Monte Arthur, The Death of King Arthur. At age 14, he decided to become a writer and spent hours in his bedroom writing stories and poems and even attempting his own translation of Malory's famous novels. Steinbeck entered Stanford University in 1919, enrolling in writing, literature, and a few science courses. Never fully committed to the idea of college, Steinbeck occasionally took classes which interested him, but left in 1925 without ever receiving a degree. He then moved to New York and worked several odd jobs from newspaper reporter to construction worker. He returned to his native California 2 years later, where he worked as a caretaker for an estate and completed his first novel, Cup of Gold, in 1929. While the novel Cup of Gold was never a significant financial or critical success, Steinbeck was able to afford to marry his first wife, Carol, in 1930. Finally settled, Steinbeck concentrated on his writing and in 1935 published the very successful novel Tortilla Flat. Based on the lives of California paisanos, people of Indian and Spanish descent, Steinbeck was able to capture the often bleak yet painfully realistic side of a human life, a side of life he was able to witness firsthand. Of Mice and Men, published in 1937, and The Grapes of Wrath, published in 1939, were arguably Steinbeck's most famous and controversial novels. Of Mice and Men was originally conceived as a play, and after Steinbeck rewrote the novelette for the stage, it received the Drama Critics Circle Award in 1937 and was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. The Grapes of Wrath, a gritty, candid illustration of the lives of farmers during the Depression, received harsh criticisms. This criticism did not deter people from becoming the book, however, and the novel eventually became a huge success, winning the Pulitzer Prize in 1940. After his marriage began to crumble, Steinbeck decided to travel with respected friend Ed Ricketts, a marine biologist, Sea of Cortex, 1941, and The Forgotten Village, 1941, were said to have been inspired by Ricketts and their travels together. He divorced Carol in 1943 and married his second wife, Gwendolyn, with whom he had two sons, Thomas and John. After another rocky marriage, they divorced in 1948, and in 1950 he married his third wife, Elaine Scott. Severely criticized and equally celebrated, Steinbeck wrote 28 novels in all. His later works, East of Aden, 1951, a semi-autobiographical piece, and The Winter of Our Discontent, 1961, were two of the most acclaimed novels of his later years. After receiving numerous nominations throughout the 1950s and 1960s, Steinbeck was finally awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature in 1962. Steinbeck died in New York, December 20, 1968, at the age